Okay, so in the first part, tingnan natin yung mga nangyayari o kadalasang nangyayari in a science class. So maybe you can remember some of your memories during your elementary days and during your junior high school days. Ano yung mga naranasan mo nung science classes mo? Ano yung mga tinuro sa inyo? How did the teacher taught you? How many were you in a science class or inside the class? So sabi ni Sir, may problema in the way science is taught in the country na in a way or in a big way actually affects how Filipino perceive science. So ito yung evidence natin, no? If we take a look at the statistics, at the numbers ng performance ng mga bata on this test, National Achievement Test, di ba you took this siguro twice nung nasa basic ed ka pa, and also these two international tests on math and science and reading. Itong TIMSS and the PISA. Let's take a look how the students perform, specifically in science. O, ito National Achievement Test. So, nung 2018, ganito lang yung passing rate. 40% passing rate nung 2018. Which was said na ito yung pinakamababa in the history of grade 6 NET. Kasi bumagsak siya doon sa 40% mark. Meanwhile, ito mga grade 10 NET takers, medyo mataas yung nakuha nila. Mas mataas as compared with the grade 6, 45, almost 45%. But honestly, according to the report, consistently na ganito kababa yung nakukuha ng mga takers ng NET sa grade 10. Okay? So, tinignan kung bakit nagkaganito yung kanilang performance sa National Achievement Test, and may mga lumabas na issue about cheating, di ba? Yung mga teachers daw on their school ay tinutulungan yung mga estudyante na magkaroon ng mas mataas na marka. Kasi syempre that will reflect on the performance of the district, di ba? Or of the teacher of the school. Kasi dati nagulat yung mga nakakita ng result, kasi before nakakarating ng 60 to 70% passing rate yung mga kumukuha ng NAT, grade 6 students na kumukuha ng National Achievement Test. But noong 2018, sobrang laki ng gap. Nagresulta sa 20% or 30% decrease in the rating. From average rating, naging low in mastery na lang yung rating ng mga grade 6 takers ng NET. So, 40%. Ibig sabihin, if they're given 10 questions, they were able to answer 4 questions correctly. 4 lang yun kaya nilang sagutan ng tama. Kasi it was attributed to cheating scandals. Kasi before, yung grade 6 NAT ay kinukuha ng mga grade 6 students kung nasa ang elementary school sila. But during that year, noong 2018, kukuhanin na siya ng mga grade 7 students actually. So, ibig sabihin, nakaalis na sila from their elementary school kasi junior high school na sila. So, in that way, hindi na sila matutulungan ng mga teachers nila kung totoo man yung allegations na yon. Okay? So, that's how they perform in the National Achievement Test. So, very bad actually. Trends in International Mathematics and Science Study or the TIMSS. So, this international test ay ginagawa siya every 4 years, simula noong 1995. Yung mga participating country na yung mga students ay kukuha ng test ay kailangan 4,500 to 5,000 students yung makatake ng TIMSS. So, this is given to grade 4 and grade 8 students. Pero nung 2019, we only participate, yung mga grade 4 students lang natin yung nakaparticipate. This international test is important kasi through this, you are able to compare how well countries are performing so that they can learn from each other, especially the policymakers, diba, in education. So that's the goal of this international test. Okay, unfortunately, doon sa 58 countries na nag-participate in the said test, Philippines was, siya yung kulela, rank lowest. Diba? Medyo masakit. Bighati, diba? So if we're talking about science, they only scored 249. Which is, if we compare it with the score of Singapore, sila kasi yung top performer, almost 600. Napakalaki nung gap, di ba? How about the PISA? Or the Program for International Student Assessment. This was also in 2019 or 2018 rather. So ito naman every 3 years binibigay yung assessment na to. Nagsimula siya noong 2000. Binibigay siya sa mga 15 years old. So mga grade 9 or grade 10 students, I think. In this particular test, we also did not do well. Average score natin ay this, 357 on reading, mathematics, and science. Meanwhile, the global average, average ito ng ng buong mundo. It's not even the score of the top performing country. 489, that's the average score. So again, we are lowest or second to the lowest. Kulelat na naman po, out of the 79 countries. So only 13% yung nakascore ng 400. Yung 400, siya na yung kino-consider na low. Ibig sabihin, majority ay hindi nakarating doon sa low benchmark. Hindi nakascore ng 400 or above. So if we take a look at this result, kino-compare yung mga countries, diba? Yung score nila in reading, mathematics, and science. Pinutol ko yung listahan kasi madami yun, diba? 79 countries. We can see on the top performers were from the bell of countries, diba? Like Singapore, China, Finland, Korea, and so on. Nandito tayo. Okay, sandali. Hindi nyo makita dahil may harang. Nandito tayo sa baba. So, ayun po. Nasa dulo na naman tayo ng listahan. Kasama yung Lebanon, Dominican Republic. Okay? Indonesia performed much better than us, our neighbor country. Sa test kasi, tinitingnan, may survey din na tinatanong sa mga students. Okay? Saka sa mga principal para yung score naman ng country ay in some way maunawaan. So, you can see here a graph. Pagtaas dito sa y-axis, pagtaas ng score nila sa test. You can see the top scorer here. Singapore, Hong Kong, China, Finland. Meanwhile, we are here. We are really the lowest, no? We scored the lowest. Dito tayo sa baba. And so, x-axis, makita mo yung actual spending ng gobyerno on education. So, ibig sabihin, papalayo, sila yung mga top spender sa education. Malaki yung pondo na binibigay ng gobyerno on education. So, Qatar, Luxembourg, although, dito yung average. Above average pa rin yung Singapore. Iceland, above average. And you can see that most of the countries na may above average na spending on education, they scored much better than those countries na may maliit na spending on education like us. Okay? Again, lowest na naman tayo. Ibig sabihin, pinakamaliit yung binibigay na pondo sa education sa Pilipinas. So, again, comparing ourselves with our neighboring countries, diba, na mababa din naman yung education spending. They outperform us. Okay? So, sad to say, we are not at par at the moment. We are not at par with international standards. And it makes me sad actually as a science teacher as well. So I'm asking myself, what can I do to improve the situation? So according to the article, ano yung mga dahilan kung bakit ganito ang nagiging performance ng mga students natin in science? So they said that there is a shortage in teachers, shortage in classroom, shortage sa science laboratories, di ba? Saan mag-a-apply ng concepts ang mga estudyante kung walang science laboratory? Quality of learning materials. So, bakit daw ganon? First one, shortage of teachers. According to data, kung kukuhanin natin yung data, kulang na kulang yung science teacher ng bansa. So, ang ratio ay sa bawat isang science teacher, there is 191 students na kailangan niyang turuan o kumbaga naka-assign sa kanya. So, that's quite a lot, di ba? That's a big difference between teacher and student. Number of teachers and number of students. And we have 19 million students in the Philippines. 2014 data pa ito. Okay, so fortunately naman may ginagawa yung government, diba, in DepEd. They are giving scholarship kung ikaw ay magiging science major. And then, if you pass the LET, halimbawa, yung mga science teachers ay bibigyan ng mas mataas na sweldo. And then yung shortage na to ay nag-worsen actually during the senior high school implementation of the senior high school, diba? Kasi there are also science classes in senior high school. So again, naging worse yung shortage ng science teacher. That's why they decided to hire as part-time teachers yung mga graduate ng halimbawa engineering o graduate ng STEM-related field to teach in the senior high school. Okay, so this is one problem. Shortage of teachers. Shortage of classroom. Syempre naman po, we know stories, di ba, na 60 students pinagkakasya sa isang classroom. Yung ibang classroom nga, walang upuan, di ba? Dilapidated na. Minsan, dahil sa kakulangan ng classroom, kakulangan ng teacher, yung mga students nagkaklase sa gymnasium, di ba? Tapos may mga plywood, mga cortina, mga makeshift na harang na lang. So definitely, that's not conducive sa learning, di ba? Kasi, narinig mo yung ingay, narinig mo yung turo ng kabilang section, di ba? Teachers even have to buy parang microphone or lapel para magkarinigan. So this is really a problem. This is the amount of classroom na kailangan pa natin punuan. This is the 2017 data. Shortage of science laboratories. So, di ba, if there's no science laboratories, the teacher will resort to teaching strategies na hindi masyadong exciting, di ba? Like, for example, reporting o kaya lecture. Yun na lang yung kayang gawin ng teacher kasi wala siyang magamit na science laboratory to conduct experiment. According to data, isa lang sa bawat 10 eskwelahan ang mayroong science laboratory sa mga region na to. O kasali tayo dito, Region 4A. In Manila, mas nag-improve yung ratio na yon, 3 out of 10. But in other regions, the rest of the countries, there's really virtually no access to science laboratories. So, paano magkakaroon ng idea yung mga students na, gusto ko mag-scientist if they never experience, di ba, doing experiment in a science lab? Di ba, there are even stories na yung mga teachers hindi pwedeng ipagamit yung mga glasswares, yung mga microscope kasi pag nasira, di ba, sila yung magbabayad or mawawala ng equipment yung eskwelahan. So these are real stories, real struggle of a Filipino child. Quality of learning materials. So, ang daming error na nakikita in the books. And yung iba, hindi masyadong exciting tingnan, di ba? So, how will the Filipino child be excited to flip the pages if hindi masyadong, or halimbawa, sabihin natin substandard, or hindi kaaya-aya yung kanyang libro sa science. Even now, di ba, during the new normal, ang dami nakikitang errors dun sa mga module. So how will a common Filipino have an appreciation of science if hindi siya nag-groom to appreciate it during his or her schooling? Maybe most of the Filipino or the common people, di ba? Kapag hindi related sa science yung trabaho nila, ayun, hindi na sila aware how science applies to their life. So, again, due to the new normal, this is how. So, how will we improve our rating, halimbawa, on those international tests or national achievement tests? So, how will science be appreciated if hindi siya magsisimula sa classroom? Okay? So, in the next part, we will discuss ano yung pwedeng gawin ng gobyerno to solve this problem.